friends, back again with another video, and we're back to our Broadway videos. I know it's been a bit, but all of my wonderful subscription box come in and a bunch of movie reviews, but I'm almost caught up on movie reviews, so I decided to go back to a Broadway video. So now we're at number 8 for a Broadway breakdown. We're in the top 8, yay! And all of these shows are wonderful. 8, 7, 6 were very interchangeable, and was a little factors here and there before the top 5. So these are pretty much, next 3 are pretty much even scale, just few elements here and there. So today for number 8, we are talking about Beautiful, the Carole King musical. As you can see, I saw it with the wonderful Melissa Benoist. And honestly, so this show has been playing now on Broadway for 4 years, because it came out in 2014. I never jumped to see it on all my trips because like I like the music, but it's not like stuff I listen to every day. It just was not top of my list. But being a huge Glee fan and Whiplash and everything, I had to see it when I knew she was going to be, because I saw the announcement in May and I already had tickets to go to New York, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to see her in it, I'm going to do it. And so I did get signatures. Unfortunately, she did not come out the stage door that night. I was a little disappointed, but the show was amazing. So, back to the show. So, Beautiful, Carole King musical. If you're not familiar with Carole King, one of the greatest songwriters, performers of the last 50 years. She's done songs of like Will You Love Me Tomorrow, One Fine Day. She's done so much. So it's basically her life story in the beginning, how she met her husband at the time, and how she got her start, how she was a writer for years. She didn't start performing until she was 27 years old. But the story, and there was so much I didn't know about her. Her husband was basically a lying, cheating pig. How she had a kid at 16 with him. How she started writing at she was writing in New York at 16 years old. She went to college at 16. Yeah, and she didn't get her start until she was 27 years old, really, when she was singing, because no one knew she was the one behind the scenes. But that's how it was back then. You had the performers, you had the writers. There was no blend like there is today. And I think she really started where you could write your own songs and perform them, so that was nice. But the music is absolutely phenomenal, especially because I like her songs. Like I knew Will You Love Me Tomorrow, I knew all that, but the way they placed them in the musical and how they had performed everything was seamless, beautiful. It was beautiful. And I got so lucky with my seats, because I went to Tix to see it, and usually I am an orchestra person. I've seen almost every Broadway show I've seen in orchestra, with the exception of 2, and this is the first of the 2 that I'm talking about that's non-orchestra. The other one's in the top 5, so it didn't really affect my opinion of the show, but my opinion, unless you're gonna be at the front of mezzanine, orchestra's better. That's just my opinion. It depends on the person, but that's me. But I had front row center mezzanine, so I'm right here against the railing, beautiful view, because the majority of it, there is a dual stage, so there's the bottom, and then there's like stairs on the stage, and there's the upper deck, so I could see everything clearly, and a lot of it, she's just sitting in the middle of the stage on a piano, so I had a wonderful view of that. When I walk in the theater, see the piano there, I knew I lucked out. And, yeah, like when she walked out for the first time, she's on the piano, like, my heart melted, because I loved her on Glee. Oh my gosh. I wasn't the biggest fan of Marley's character, but Glee, Yeah, and I was excited because when I was in New York this past time, 4 of the first, like, I'm trying to think. I saw 5 shows, and out of those, I saw 7 shows total, but the first 5 I saw, 4 of them had Glee performers on them, so it was wonderful. So I saw Matt Bomer and Boys in the Band. I saw Melissa Benoist in Beautiful. I saw Laura Dreyfus in Dear Evan Hansen, and I saw Alex Newell in Once on This Island. So out of those, I love seeing all the Glee people. But back to it, and Melissa Benoist was perfect as Carole King. Perfect. Like, you might listen to the soundtrack now with Jesse Mueller. I'm picturing Melissa Benoist. She was just, wow. like, if they do a film adaptation, she needs to play it. It has to happen. And and her performance of One Fine Day at the end of, oh my gosh, it was so good. And I love it so much. I keep listening to music all the time. I repeat it a lot. And it's funny because Darren Criss just released a cover of One Fine Day this week. I'm just like, oh, it's so much goodness. But I would say if you're not completely familiar with Carole King, or like that style of music, it may not be the best for you. I will say I was one of the youngest in the crowd. I think it did draw younger people at the time because of Melissa Benoist, but the majority of it was my grandparents' age because that's who grew up with her. She is my grandparents' age. So I will say that, but wonderful show. I think it's definitely slept on. Well, it did win Jessie Mueller Best Actress Tony in 2014, but lost the Best Musical to Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, which obviously is no longer running, but it's obviously done well considering it's still running. It's been 4 years. It's sat through Hamilton and all the other crazy shows that are monsters, and it's still running successfully. So I highly recommend it. I think it's definitely a show that's not looked at as much, and it does tour. I think it's still touring, I believe. I know it came to Dallas like 2 years ago. So it does tour. So I think definitely a lot of people don't think of it when they think of musicals. But if you want a nice, good show with some beautiful music, then go see Beautiful. Yes, that was me talking about Beautiful. So up next we have our top 7. So we're officially halfway through this countdown, guys. So keep watching for movie reviews and other fun stuff. Yeah, have a good day.